What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I was gonna end the night on a high note. The new Xyz Firewall Dragon wasn't going to terrorize the meta of the future, and then the World Legacy lore continues, and one of the cards is freaking busted. It can actually end U-Links in general and summon itself out of your hand if you've been U-Linked for the most part. So let's go ahead and get into the continuing downward spiral of whatever's happening in this freaking lore, along with an insane effect. Introducing Astro Nightmare Italy, a level 9 Dark Fairy effect monster, attack 2100, defense 2100. If the total link rating of link monsters on the field is 8 or more, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. So if your opponent reaches any point in their board where there is more than a link rating of 8, this can pop on out, and it is insane. If this card is special summoned and your opponent controls more link monsters than you do, you can send all link monsters on the field to the graveyard. Non-targeting, non-destruction, send. This is actually nuts. And 3 level 9 monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. That encompasses itself. Wow, so they can't just respawn. If they negate and destroy, all it's going to do is negate, so it's still going to remain on field and be a body on board and get itself out there. Wow, this is actually insane. And furthermore, that name Italy comes with a nightmare name, and Nightmare Mermaid actually has no restriction on the level it summons when you discard a card for its effect, and there's no restriction stopping it from being in here. So it's actually a fluid in-deck actual use for that. And while you build your board workshop of your own, link spamming and going on up the link parts, like once you hit 8, you can just special summon it yourself if you want to use it as that kind of a piece, or hold it back in your hand. So it's actually a card that can help build the board, but definitely take down those boards, and I think this is what players have been asking for a very long time. I've only read one other card throughout all of this, so I'm excited to read the rest with you, but once I read this, I knew I had to just, like, bring it back up and make another video. We've got World Legacy Gardragon Melodark. He became a bad boy after being one of the goodest boys. Also a level 9, okay. A Wind Dragon effect monster, attack 2600, defense 3000. You can only use this card's first and third effects once per turn each. You can banish 2 normal monsters from your hand and or graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand, so it works in tandem with the World Chalice stuff, but I'm guessing more like Shine Balls are realistic to be in your graveyard. Or, hey, check this out. Monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense for each dragon monster you control. So that starts with itself. That gets very interesting, doesn't it? That could be played in Blue Eyes, 2 normal monsters. Ooh. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects, so not relying on opponent, you can add 1 level 9 monster with a different original attribute and type from this card from your graveyard to your hand. This is getting spicy. And, ooh, I see another 9, and it has the name Crawler in it. I don't like crawlers if you haven't been part of the live streams. A level 9 Earth Insect Flip effect monster, attack 2000, defense 3000. That's what I don't like, flips. You can only use this card's name's third effect once per turn. When an opponent's card or effect is activated that targets this face-down card, quick effect, you can change this card to face-up defense position, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That's interesting. So, like, Regeki, it wouldn't trigger this, but, like, that's the first time I think, like, something's like, surprise! I have an effect while being face down. That's kind of cool. If this card was flipped face up, negate all activated monster effects your opponent controls. Huh. That's actually pretty interesting. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effects of your own, you can add 1 level 9 monster with a different original attribute and type from those cards from your deck to your hand. So basically these help you tutor out your board breaker, and she doesn't happen to share those effects that the rest of them are having there. World Legacy Burgeoning. Quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. Special summon a level 9 monster from your hand, so helps out there. Target 1 level 9 monster you control. Special summon 2 level 9 monsters with different names and original types and attributes Different from the target from your deck, but they cannot attack and are also destroyed in the end phase. I'd have to look at the rank 9 pool to really see if this goes anywhere crazy. But definitely, I would think out of everybody, this just becomes generically used. Break my board, no longer needing sphere mode. I'm here, and this is really awesome. I think this is really freaking cool, and it really hit the mark. Now, also on Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization here late at night while all the news is breaking is this amazing Fusion Destiny. This I have read, and this is another reason why I was opening up to do a video so late here at night. So, Fusion Destiny is going to read, normal spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Fusion summon one fusion monster that lists a Destiny hero as a fusion material from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or deck as fusion materials. Let that sink in for just a bit. Hand or deck. But destroy it during next turn's end phase. So it's got a clock on how long it can be out. Next turn's in phase, not your next turn, your opponent. So this lasts on the field for your turn and an opponent's turn, and it's gone. But from the deck, this is a one card. Hey, I'm gonna be fusing real quick. That's pretty insane. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters except Dark Heroes. Any Dark Hero monster. Does that ring a bell for what could be meta with Dark Heroes? Masked Hero Darklaw. So they actually accept the meta that was shaped in the past, that was put together in the past by hero decks in general. And they created this card that's similar to Future Fusion in design, isn't it? Fusion Destiny. And it does have fusion in the name. That means I think the Predaplants can search it. Interestingly enough, is super polymerization. Is it polymerization by name? I'd actually have to look this up real quick. Predaplant Darlington Cobra. Let's see if that can actually search it. I know I'm doing this off to the side real quick. Live editing done fast by John Moore. So polymerization or fusion spell card. So indeed, this is actually searchable by the Predaplant engine, which can actually set you up link pointers such as We Witch down on the board. You're able to activate this and then maybe continue up a line with Shadow Mist and continue on your turn. So like, yeah, Solid Soldier could, I guess, be your normal summon and you can special miss. Like, you're still able to continue up lines and trees that you would want to do with heroes, and that's pretty dang awesome. And so there's other engines to be able to mix in here, and I think this could be something competitive in the future, depending on what is continued to be released for Destiny Heroes. For you, D-Hero players, or hero players in general, how excited are you for this card? Do you think it's more going to help you make a different kind of Darklaw board than you previously had, mayhaps, where you set up, you activate this last, and you've been able to live your turn out, you got your link pointers down, and this just slams down as it's kind of the gravy on top of the Thanksgiving turkey? Or is it just missing the mark for you? I think it's insane whenever you get something that just, oh, I'm gonna plot materials out of my deck without even considering what my opponent has. I think that's really busted, but definitely more busted overall, in my opinion, would be, a new card. Wow, I was about to, end the video. Okay. And a new support monster for Destiny Heroes arrives from the official Twitter. I guess tonight's just not done. We got a new D-Hero. Draw Guy! Oh, that can't end well. A level 4 Dark Warrior effect monster, attack 1600, defense 800. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn each. If this card is special summoned by a hero monster's effects, you can have each player draw a card. Okay, so a little balanced. During the next standby phase, after this card was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from the graveyard, but banish it if it leaves the field. So it's like a roundabout long ways, I'll be back later card that gives you a resource. No, it'll likely end up like drawer or something, but we're deciding to leave it that as the TCG problem, so to speak. So yeah, interesting little tidbit coming out. We got more D-Heroes. I like the classic D-Hero shield shape over here. Definitely interesting to take in right now. Draw Guy. I mean, it does something for you, but it gives it to the opponent, so it doesn't really feel worth it. And it would be summoned by a hero's effect for its secondary effect. So, like, you get a draw, they get a draw. You're kind of giving them chances to run into hand traps. I'm not taking this as seriously as our support earlier. Basically, I'm really happy to get a U-Link board breaker is where I was going to end it just a bit ago. Something that realistically just comes down and can not only help you build your own board, but just take out a U-Link on its own. I'm so glad that they left the mechanic for it to summon on its own. I'm so glad that they left it not having to constrict itself to its archetype, and I think this is really great for the future. I think Konami's kind of solved the U-Link just a little bit. What do you guys think? Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed the discussion. And seriously, I want to hear what you have to say on this.